I think we're live. Welcome.
Yay!
My name's Tamara Woods, and this is Writers Workshop, Season 3, Episode 1. And I thank you so much for being here. You guys are amazing. I'm a lovely co-host to introduce themselves, and I'm going to tweet out this link. Let's start with Lisa and work our way around.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm Lisa Daly on my channel, bestselling writer, author, coach, which is the bestselling author, writer, coach, blah, blah, blah. Too long. I talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. And sometimes on Wednesdays, we host live streams. And tonight we're doing a boozy planner-orama. So we're planning out all February, which I'm pretty excited about. I know, right? Super fun. Thank you very much. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And I think Alina, are you next?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure which direction we should go now. Hi, everyone. I'm Alina. I'm a fiction author. I have a YouTube channel where I post videos sometimes. Mostly talking about writing and, living a creative lifestyle, which apparently entails being off YouTube for months at a time. Yeah, I'm doing great, but yeah, it's great to be here again for a new season.
Hey. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Very true. And I'm Amber Kraft. I write paranormal romance. My second book, Unknown Family, comes out February 9th, so I'm super excited about that. And I'm the host of the Afterthought podcast. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that you all are here. My name is Tamara Woods. I'm a cozy mystery author, and I am a hoarder of nonfiction. We started this little shindig so that we could, read the books that we buy and stockpile and talk to y'all about them.
Oh, by the way, sorry to interrupt right now. I just had a blonde moment, and remember, I was supposed to tell you guys this and maybe tell on stream because I don't know how long it lasts. Because we're hoarding books, all of Craig Martell's books for writers are free today and today only.
Ooh.
On Amazon.
Writing that down.
Because Tamara said hoarding books, and I was like, oh, I just got 5 more free.
I love that you guys help me with my addiction. I appreciate it.
I'm not supposed to be buying books. Does free count?
No.
Free does not count.
Free
never counts.
Nope,
never counts. It's exciting. I really enjoy his books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's so good. Okay,
it's like a little gift today.
Like, here's me trying not to get distracted and go to Amazon and start looking everything up.
Someone asked who he is. He's one of the founders of 20 Books to 50K. So, yeah, like the daddy of self-publishing until you make lots and lots of money out of it.
Yeah, he's one of the success stories that you'd love to replicate.
Yeah.
And
so
he has
here,
a really good YouTube channel.
Definitely. All right, I'll see if I can. I'm not sure if I'm a wrench or not. If I am, I'll put one of the links in the channel or in the chat.
I'll send you a link to the series if you want, because I was for
that'd
that.
be
I'll send it here in the chat because I'm sure I'm not an admin, so it won't let me paste it. There you go.
I don't know.
Barbara Howard. So far, Barbara.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Are you a wrench? Let's see if this laptop will allow me to open YouTube. Might not. It's 50-50 shot here. Okay. We'll just let that happen as it goes. All right. So let's start with our first thoughts. Can we see it? Your author business plan by Joanna Penn. This was recommended to us by Dana Gollin. So I don't know if Dana's here or not, but thanks, Dana, because I really enjoyed reading it. What do you guys think about it? Just like your overall feelings.
Loved it. I think it was the for me, it's like one of the better writing books I've read all year. So I really thought it was great.
Yeah, same here. Like I'm usually not overly impressed with craft books for some reason, but when they're business related, I'm all for it. So I think the only one that I found a bit more interesting than this one, or it was kind of a tie, was the Right to Market book. I think that was last year. We did it last year, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of on the same level. And I think Chris Fox is like awesome. So yeah. I knew Joanna was, and I've been listening to her podcast for a long time, and I think I've read almost all of her books for authors, but this one was like spot on, really well written, and really good if you want to create, like a career and the business out of writing.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a good note to start on this year. Definitely, like we were saying earlier, I took notes the whole time, and I think I've got like 4 or 5 pages, and it's nothing I don't already know. So I got tons of homework now.
I thought one of the things that was miraculous, and it's too bad Caro's not with us today because she would weep with joy. I made a spreadsheet after reading this book. I actually made a spreadsheet because one of the things, I know, right? It's very exciting. I made a spreadsheet of my own free will. No one made me do it. So I think that right there is just evidence how special this book is.
Definitely.
Does I make enough at work? I don't want to make them now.
Bad, everybody.
So what did you think about it, Tamara?
I love having actionable steps. I need that. I need that kind of guidance. And I really liked that instead of there wasn't a lot of hand holding. It was more of here's the information and here's some things to think about. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciated that because I don't really like it when too in depth with things, especially when it's something like a business plan that's going to vary from person to person.
Right. I thought it was really helpful that I think it was the end of the book, middle to end of the book, she gave like 3 or 4 different examples of business plans for different kinds of authors. And I will say one of the things I loved about this was she was very focused on, if you are an author, you should be thinking of your writing as a business and your books and your other, sort of properties as assets. And I think for a lot of writers, we started because we love it and we would like to make money, but a lot of authors are not oriented that way. And one of the things that she mentioned a lot that I really love was this idea of like not leaving assets on the table. So if you have a book that you've written, are you exploiting all of the rights that you have available? Are you using every opportunity to earn from that book you've already written? Or are you just leaving stuff? And that was why I made the spreadsheet, because I was like, oh my gosh, I have tons of rights for different books that I'm just sitting on. They're not doing anything. Mm-hmm. And that was this is something that I know every year I go, I got to do something about it. But like when I sat down and made the spreadsheet and saw like how many things I'm leaving, that I'm not doing anything with, it's actually more than rights I am using. And so when you look at it that way and you go, oh my gosh, how much income from writing you have already done are you just letting float away because you're not using it?
True. Yeah. Quite true. And I like that you focuses
I was really partial to the financial bits. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I think there's a bit of delay, and I was talking, and then you came in, and then I stopped, and then you stopped. It was great, awesome. Sorry about that. What I was trying to say is that I like how she focuses on multiple streams of income and emphasizes the importance of that. I think a lot of authors tend to forget that a bit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how she had like questions at the each of one, like, okay, here's what I'm telling you to do, but like, here's what you need to ask yourself so that you know, okay, I may be doing this part of it, but I'm not taking it far enough, or I'm only doing part of what I need to do. And that was helpful because even on the parts where I was like, okay, I know this, I'm doing this, it was like, but are you taking it to this step? What's not helping you that you're not even looking at? Like, I think we're all so focused on what helps us that we kind of forget about, okay, I've got this thing over here. It's not really doing anything. What could I do to either A, make it better, or get rid of it and refocus the attention?
Right. That was another part that I really loved when she talked about, what did she call that? Your author ecosystem.
Yeah.
Basically your platform, right? Your Facebook page, your Instagram, your newsletter, your platform. So one of the things that she talked about is after you've been in this for a while, you probably have some exhaustion with all of the stuff you're supposed to do, right? All of us have been like, oh, you got to be on Facebook, you got to be on Goodreads, you got to be on this, and we could literally spend all day doing promotion and not actually write. And this idea about like, what is this platform actually doing for you? And is it actually helping you to, further your goals? I thought that was like just such a great wake up call that you do not have to do everything. You do not have to, if you don't, and like I am not on Facebook because I basically really hate it. The only part of Facebook that I love is our little tiny author world corner where all the author tubers talk. Like that's the only part of it that I like. I still don't do like posts very often, but like our little chats, that's pretty much the only thing I like about it. And so I just am not putting the effort into Facebook. And I feel like now I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
this book was a reminder that I need to get my website together. Oh no, are we doing it again? Okay, I'm gonna go first this time.
You need to raise hands.
This is the perfect thing. We both need to talk at the same time every time. It's
my turn. Okay, I'm gonna do it. This really told me that I need to get my website together, and I've been saying it for months. If y'all have been around here, I probably like, okay, more than months. Let's be honest, like 2 years. 2 years. It's been like 2 years of me saying, "Oh, you guys are."
I wasn't gonna point that out.
I have to get my website together because I need to have that like central place.
Right. And she refers to hers as a hub a lot, which I really thought was such a great way to put that. And yes, exactly. The other thing she talked about a lot was her email list, which that, like for me, I'm always like, if you only do one thing, you should be focusing on email list.
And that's what I've got to do. So that section was really helpful. Like I finally have the website, and my website allows me to do the mailing list. So now I've just got to take care of that this year, but I've been so focused on getting book 2 out and all the issues it's had. I'm like, okay, like as soon as this book is out, the week after, the mailing list has to do. Like there's no way. In a perfect world, I'd have done that first, but it just wasn't happening for this book.
It's okay. As long as it gets done. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Alina, what did you want to say before we cut each other off?
I kind of dropped things for completely different reasons, and then I realized they weren't doing much. I mean, things were going well even without them, so I cut them off. And because we were talking about Facebook, I'm kind of done with Facebook. It depresses me to no end, and same with Twitter. So what I'm doing now, unless I go in and retweet stuff from basically other authors. That's it. I just use Instagram. I post there, and it goes to my page, and it goes to Twitter, and it's fine. I don't have to. I think the only things I post on Facebook right now are like memories that usually include the dog. My stuff. And I'm trying to post more in my author group that I promise every year that I'll work more on, and I never do. But it went fine. Like, it went fine without it. It wasn't a big problem that I wasn't doing. The fact that I wasn't promoting my books much on Instagram, that didn't do anything. Like, it didn't stop the sales or stuff. However, when I took 4 months off out of the blue and didn't release books and didn't send newsletters, that had an impact. Like, that had an impact, obviously. So yeah, it was something I discovered by mistake, but fair enough. It's good to evaluate everything you're doing and figure out if it's worth it or not.
Right.
Because if it's not, it's just a waste of your time. Like, promo groups on Facebook, let's say, which were all the rage years ago. Like, I quit doing that a year and a half ago because it was like so stupid. And by the way, I had over time reduced them to a few specialized ones that were very genre specific, let's say. And then I cut those off too. And I realized that I get way more sales if someone just recommends my book for no reason in a readers group where authors don't do promo. So I just don't do it anymore. But I think it's hard to evaluate everything if you don't keep track of it. And sometimes it's hard to, if you don't have like the links that will track clicks and stuff like that, and you don't have separate links for everywhere you post, it's hard to figure out what has results. Unless, you just drop it and you see that nothing changes. But to be honest, I think the tracking part is something a lot of us don't do right, and because of that, we waste a lot of time.
I definitely don't do it right.
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. I still see people posting links to Amazon that have all the search and IP data. Right. They post those to promote their books, which impacts algorithms because it appears like the same IP is visiting the book over and over again to Amazon. Right. So I think you're doing great, Mary. Give yourself more credit. You're way ahead of the game.
I feel like I'm, what's that? 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I feel like that's how it works with me. Oh my gosh. I'm interested in the financial part because I am the pie is the sky creative where, just happen. It'll come. No, it won't. It won't just come. It won't just happen. People aren't just going to find you. You have to make a concerted effort. You have to create a plan. And that was really my main motivator for starting this and this book this month, because I love being a creative and I love being out here and just, helping people and doing what I do and doing what I love, but also like to be able to pay bills.
Right. and but that's okay. But that's okay, because I think a lot of authors and writers feel guilty about wanting to actually make a living from their work. And we shouldn't. It's valuable. It makes people happy, or takes them away from their problems, or lets them escape, or whatever brings them joy. Whatever it is that they're getting from our individual books, that's valuable. And it really, and it's funny. I'm not sure why so many authors are feel so squirrely talking about money.
I don't know. Like, that's the norm. Let's not talk about money. And that's the norm, not just for writers in general. Like, don't talk personal finance more. Right. Which I don't understand at all. It makes no sense. I think we should all know more about money, figure money out, and, plan ahead. Try to invest and possibly retire at some point. I don't want to retire or stop writing, but it would be nice if things went well. And I think you can never know too much about money and saving, investing and planning and making some financial decisions, because even when you think and you're doing everything right, life has a way of proving you wrong. And I'm just talking about myself and the train wreck that was 2018 and 2019.
It's not just you.
I mean, for me, it was particularly bad because of various and really disturbing health issues and being taken out for a long time. So I wasn't ready for that. And this comes from someone who had savings and an emergency fund and everything else. But it still was a really big blow. And I'm thankful for that now, because that's how I started to look into money more. And subscribe to personal finance blogs and budgeting stuff, and starting to use a budget. It's really hard to use when you're used to a very creative and let it be kind of approach to money and finances. It's especially hard if you're a bit ADHD and you impulse buy and impulse shop because of the symptoms, and you can't pay attention to a freaking budget. But then if you train yourself to do it, it's really, really good for soothing your anxiety and everything else. So I started with personal finance and then moved into the business aspect of it, and that was like I was forced into it. But it would be nice if people weren't forced into that stuff, and they would just be open about it and talk about it more, and learn about money. I don't know why it's such a big taboo, honestly.
I
just don't get it.
It is funny. I do like the fact that this is she was very matter of fact about it, about the about her approach to her her business and the money aspect. This is how I set up my business. Here are some different options for that. And she set up, I think, as an LLC basically, or the UK equivalent or Australian equivalent of an LLC. And so she's her only employee of her company, and she and her husband are also both on their board of directors. And like it was really, and it sounds more complicated actually. She was very straightforward in the way that she described it. But I think that's something that a lot of people don't. Either they go way too crazy in the very beginning and they want to set up a corporation before they've ever written their first book, or they just ignore it and put all that stuff on as freelance income or whatever. Ooh. Speaking of freelance income, I think one of the most important things that she said in the entire book was talking about scalable income versus trading time for money, right? Because and for anybody who's not super familiar, scalable income is like when you're creating one thing, like you're writing a book and then you're just going to sell that book for all eternity, versus something where like a freelance project where you have to put in so many hours and then you get paid, and then once the project is done, you're not going to like continue getting royalties or money off that. And that idea that more of your income should be scalable, that more of your income should be something that like continues to pay off versus trading your time for money. And of course, when you're at the beginning of your career, a lot of times that's how you need to stay afloat, is to trade your time for money, to take on those freelance gigs. But her idea that you should sort of gradually shift from one to the other in order to build wealth as an author, I thought was really very insightful.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there.
I feel like I'm ready to make that shift. I'm ready for the shift.
Good.
Yeah, I think it was nice how, like, with everything she talked about, she not only said, here's how I did it for the Joanna Penn side, but how I did it for, for the writing side, the courses side, for the podcast. Like, she broke down as much as she could for each side of what she did to give you kind of an idea. Here's the fiction, here's the nonfiction, here's, the whole thing.
Right.
And so it gave you some kind of idea. If she had never added the here's some examples in the middle, it still would have given you a good grasp of each side of it and how she did it.
Yeah.
And how big her platform really is.
I
didn't realize how much she actually does that doesn't really hit on any of my interests. Like
right.
the travel stuff.
Right, the books and travel podcast. Right. Yeah, me either. I was not familiar. I was familiar with her writing podcast because she's been doing that for like a decade. And she's, she has built up a really good sized audience there. And obviously I was familiar with her writing books. But I knew that she wrote fantasy, but I haven't not read her stuff. But I had, when I was familiar, I've certainly tweeted out her advice, for just my own audience. And so her platform is pretty solid. But you can also tell, like, she's very invested in the things that she's engaged in.
Yeah. I think that's the part I liked the most, because she said she finally narrowed it down to the things she really enjoys doing, and that she does, and she cut back on others, which is really important. And what I like a lot about her is that although she's not the fastest writer, she doesn't publish huge volumes of books, she's never biased towards people who write a lot. Because she explained that if you're taking it as a business and you put in 40 hours a week, and most of that is writing, you're going to get a lot done. I'm pretty sure if she didn't have all the podcasts, she could write a lot faster. But it's not going to happen because she's invested in the podcasts, obviously. So I like the non-biased approach.
Well, and she wasn't biased. She was not only biased again. I mean, she says right in the book, like, if you want to be prolific, that's 8 to 12 books a year or more. But she was also unbiased about people who are writing part-time, like, outside of like having a full-time job. And so, like, she really did not have any bias either way.
And she also adapted it to people who want to be published traditionally, and that works for them too, the business plan, which I thought was really awesome. And that's one of the things I appreciate about her the most, is that she doesn't exclude anyone from the advice she gives.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was really helpful.
Yeah, I really feel like she tries to meet you where you are. I see that marketing is my nightmare challenge. She does talk about marketing in here and tries to, which I do not plan for marketing very well, I must say. I will admit it. I tried to crumble and blow away in the wind. And that's not very effective marketing, I got to tell you guys.
Well, I think the idea, like, one of the things she talked about was doing, and this is again kind of connected to your platform, which she calls the ecosystem, is that she says some things are really effective and you just hate them. One of the things that she gave as an example was that she had used Amazon ads, and that she said basically she increased her sales tenfold, but she hated it. She hated, like, doing the research and getting, like, the ads and monitoring them and all that. And she just said, like, yep, I made more money and I hated it, so I just don't do it anymore. And I thought that was a really interesting approach, because a lot of people, I think, would be really, like, uncomfortable. But I love this. I mean, a lot of her strategy is sort of based on that 80-20 rule, where, 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results, and that you should do the things that you like to do that are producing for you, and that you should let the rest of that go.
Yeah, but I think like a lot of authors have this bias against marketing. It's like the thing people complain about most, and the thing they say the most. And I think this is something we pick up as newbie authors, because everybody hates marketing, and it's something that probably we wouldn't hate as much if it wasn't this prevalent message that marketing is hard and it's bothersome and we should all hate it. it's good to find what works for you, but sometimes it's not happening overnight. And what works for some people doesn't work for others. And you still have to try it all. And I think if we stop thinking about it as this cumbersome and annoying task, we'll have a better time of it. It also helps taking one marketing channel at a time, so you're not super stressed about it.
Mm-hmm.
Start with a newsletter, because we agree on that. That's the first thing.
I actually love marketing. Like, I mean, I came from an advertising background. My first like professional writing jobs were in advertising, and so to me, this is like, that's kind of a fun part of the book. But I do realize I'm an outlier, that a lot of people
I know
really hate it.
because I have a PR and marketing background as well before I started writing, and that's probably why I'm not so upset about it.
Right.
But it can be a little fun. It's definitely more fun than finance is.
True.
I like seeing other authors who are really their marketing, but where it seems like it's effortless, and you're like, wow, why didn't I think about that? Like Aphrodite has been so creative with her marketing for Shattered that it's just like, how did you do that? How did that come out from out? You just give me some of your creativity so I can apply it to my books, please. Like doing things like creating character profile, having games that are associated with them, and creating cards that go along with them, and just all these little things that makes it really interesting.
That.
I am absolutely addicted to oh my gosh, now I can't remember the app. Really? TikTok. I'm absolutely addicted to TikTok. And there was this one author, and I thought it was an actual true story where she's like, you know, I was in love, and then my husband cheated on me, and then I found out that he had gotten together with this woman, and I wasn't sure what to do, this, that, and the other. And it all ended up being marketing for her book. But the way she talked about it, you were like, we are on messy TikTok, and we are getting the drama and the juice. And when it was done, I was like, oh, that was so smart. That
sounds like you could be marketing for my book, actually. Like, you literally just started for 15 minutes.
I was like, wow, 45 seconds. You totally had time.
Right.
And now I want to read your book.
Like TikTok is like the new gold mine for marketing for authors. I've seen posts about it in 20 books, because that's where I see most of where people started marketing on TikTok and they're rolling in cash because of it. And it's like, interesting, but I'm not touching TikTok with a 10-foot pole. I'm sorry, I just don't want to be on that platform. I don't support them. I think they're awful. A lot of weird stuff happened there, and they're not doing anything about it, so I'm not going to. But if you like it, if you like TikTok, then you should really look into it, because apparently it's really effective for book marketing.
I guess so. I haven't really figured out how to market my books on there. I've just been kind of learning about other things.
Search the group for TikTok. I'm sure I've seen at least 3 or 4 posts on that.
Yeah, because like Kennedy Fox, they do their books, because one of the TikTokers that I watch, Cody, is actually like the cover model for their book, and so like they do a lot of back and forth with him.
Oh, that's fun.
It is fun.
You'll see him do a TikTok, and then like she'll answer back to him or whatever, and like, yeah, he's gonna look good as this doctor, or he's gonna, whatever character he's next on the book cover for. So it does work. She has tons of people, so
that's great.
Rachel said, as someone who's still working on their novel, I found this book is a good resource for projecting realistically into the future. I feel like there are fewer holes in that vision given this info.
And that's what I felt like this was a really good book to start off this season with, because I had already told like Kira and made a decision that after this book, before I get in too many books, I want to sit down, and since we're already moving this year and I know my writing plan is going to be broken up, I wanted to get a plan together, figure out what else I could do, work on the audio book, and all that, and just focus on these 2 books and making them the best. So I kind of had a plan going forward with every other book. And so this was really nice to break down and give myself the questions that I would need to ask myself to make it a sustainable business going forward. So it was nice.
Yeah, being sustainable. That's key.
Yeah, and I think that the fact that when you read this book, it doesn't matter how advanced you are in business planning for your book business, there will be something useful for you in there, which I thought it was amazing. I mean, it's not just something targeting people who are starting out in business planning.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I have like 10 books, and for me, it was like, sometimes you get so kind of off track with the things that you're doing, and like there's always some new thing you have to take care of, that it's really good to like go back and be really strategic. And I actually spent December of last year doing that, like really focusing on what's important to me for 2021. What am I, if all this that's been happening in 2020 continues, like what are the things I really, really want to accomplish? What matters to me? But the questions at the end of all these chapters, the worksheets that she gives you, all that stuff was so helpful in helping me see like where I had holes, where I had thought about a lot of things, but there were other things. And one of the things was that like asset management, where I had, like in the back of my head, like, like I need to take care of that. But this idea of like, make a spreadsheet so you can see what you're giving up every month. And it was really powerful for me.
Yeah, and I think because I know I'm moving and I know when I'm moving, making all the decisions now and making my plan around that not only helps me figure out, okay, I have to do this and I'm going to have to juggle this or this at the same time. But like that way, while I'm busy doing what I have to do in life, I can have these things already there and working for me. And that way I don't feel so bad. I'm just left the platform. Nobody knows what's going on. No books are being sold. I can have things working for me. Like she talks about, pay-per-click. She talks about affiliates. She talks about like all these different streams of income that you can set and only have to work on changing or updating every few months. And that way things are still getting out there for you. And, people don't forget about you and your book and your platform just because you have to be gone for a little while. So I thought that was nice.
Yeah, didn't really do much of that. I've kind of disappeared from things. And I'll just like, hey guys, I still exist, and then I'm gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I did the same thing. I managed to publish the Owl book at the end of August, which I didn't think I would. Like I had to do a 12-hour marathon to finish that book at some point. And then after that, it was like done. 4 months of nothing. Well, 5. This month.
See, that's gonna be me this weekend. Like I've got to get this. We've finally got everything figured out. Now I got to put it up, get it ready because it comes out in so many days.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was the same for me. I had a pre-order. That's the only reason, and I didn't want to delay it because
I screwed myself over on accident. So we won't talk about that. But.
So yeah, I did that, and then I disappeared for 5 months, and that was fantastic. And the thing is that if you have books to publish and stuff, you have to write them. You have an excuse for if you're on a break and can't write for a while because you burnt yourself out throughout the year, you have an excuse. But I was even worse than that. I had to release 2 separate box sets, so just package everything in a box set and release it. I've delayed it for 5 months. I'm great like that.
I think anything that happened in 2020 just stays in 2020. Like we're just not going to worry about that. We're just going to move forward, right? Because everybody did that. Like everybody had. I did not produce one book in 2020. Not one.
Oh no, I did.
Yeah, not one book.
I think when Amazon itself says we're not going to penalize you if you have to cancel your pre-order, something big enough has happened. Like,
Right.
you're forgiven.
It's not just you.
Forgiven.
Yeah. I was one of those that had a chance. So I was like, really? Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It was a tough year.
It really was. But hey, we're in 2021 and we're getting going, and we have a good map. I like how she talked again about how everything's like an ecosystem, and her website's a hub. It made me think about how all of these things that we're doing are kind of like living, breathing documents that we can change and rearrange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love that idea too. And also, right, the idea of an ecosystem too is that everything like is connected and feeds all the other things. And so I love that. And her idea of like making a map to make sure that that all of your various things that you're doing in your ecosystem are actually supporting your work. So I love that part too. I thought that was really good.
Well, I think for me, as somebody that has anxiety when something seems too big, being an introvert, like I like the way she called it an ecosystem and a hub. And even though things were big and they worked together, she was able to make them seem small and simple to tackle. So that I didn't just read it and go, oh crap, I've got this huge list to do. It was like, okay, here's step 1, here's step 2. And I can do these in order, and I can follow this along and not feel so overwhelmed because each one is contained, but it helps the bigger picture.
Yeah, agreed.
Did any of you get the
workbook?
I have it ordered now because of reading this. I have it ordered.
Yeah, I did not get the workbook, but I did go on her website and download all of those worksheets. She gives you a whole bunch of like the business plan, here, I'll just look at my downloads. A bunch of, there are like 7 different things on there. So I have not downloaded the workbook, but I put it in my cart in case all my big grouping of downloads is not going to do it for me. What do you think about the workbook now that you have it?
I haven't used it yet. My plan was I'm going to start with the workbook tomorrow. But it looks, just glancing through it, it looks pretty decent. There's a lot of places you can't see that at all. So why bother showing you? There's a lot of places where you can insert your information, and it looks like it's going to help me to like organize this stuff. It looks like it expounds on the questions that she asks at the end of each section and each chapter.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping it would do.
So I feel like this is going to be helpful because I didn't take any notes. I just kind of read this and thought about things. And then I want to go back through. I do not have the workbook out. Let me grab it. And I put a link for the creativepenn.com your plan, which is where Lisa went to get the worksheets to download.
Yeah, you can literally just Joanna Penn workbook, and it brings up like all her workbooks that go with her books.
Yeah.
Which this was the first one that I bought a workbook for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't because I wouldn't use it. So
being totally honest.
I want to use the worksheets and everything else because that's different. It can be edited, it can be always on the computer, it's fine. But a physical workbook, I totally wouldn't. But I don't order physical copies for various reasons. One of them being that I have to wait for a month to get them. Second of all, because when you add taxes and postage to a different continent, it makes no sense. If it was an ebook, sort of an electronic version, I'd buy that. But the physical one, nope.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know how long I'm going to have a... Sorry, go ahead.
We're back.
Sorry.
But but the regular novel is in ebook and paperback form. Go on.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I was gonna say, like, for me, it's just a matter of when I move, I don't know how long I'm gonna have the computer and only have the laptop, so I don't know. I want to get it. Yeah, I want to have it like, okay, here's something I can pack physically in a backpack. I can have it wherever and look at it and be working on it, because I don't know anything. Pretty much after July, I may or may not have land. I may or may not be in a campground. There's too many unknowns after July. So for me, the paperback makes more sense.
Yeah. I hate in the air times. Oh, drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, I was just reading that.
MM says I tried to spend 4 hours a week on top of my 40 hours of writing and editing on marketing, but it is the thing that I forget about most often.
I think one of the things that she had talked about was just basically just scheduling it in. That's just something she makes a plan for every day.
Yeah, I think like instead of spending 4 hours a week or thinking about it a week, maybe if you microed it into like an hour of marketing, an hour of writing, an hour of editing. Like that's what I try to do on my off days, to make it as micro as possible. That way I don't burn myself out or I don't overdo it on one thing and not the other. And then maybe myself later.
It's hard to find a balance.
Yeah.
It is. It's really hard to find a balance.
Definitely. And Aphrodite was talking about it earlier in the comments. You can always schedule things. And then people don't figure out you're not marketing every day. Scheduling really helps if you don't have consistent time every day to promote your stuff.
Right. Well, and she talked about using Buffer, which I use, which is a social media scheduling plan. And so basically you can schedule out 2 weeks in advance, a whole month in advance. And I don't often do that for Twitter, but I have been since the start of the new year. And I've like sort of gone off and on where I do it and I go, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. My life is awesome. And then something happens where I'll stop for a while and then it takes me a while to get back on it. But it really does help if you can see 2 weeks worth of posts in advance, and it especially works for like really visual platforms like Instagram. And then you can just do it in one chunk.
Sure, but if you don't want to use a separate program, it's fine because you just connect your Instagram page, your Instagram account with your Facebook page and schedule everything in the business tools from Facebook. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
If trying a new app scares you, although when you use something like Buffer or Hootsuite or something like that, you can definitely schedule stuff in for several platforms. I don't know exactly if there's anyone other than Facebook that works really great with Instagram. I've not tested Buffer for that. I know Hootsuite had an option, but it was a pain in the ass. I mean, you could schedule it and it would send it to your phone and then you'd have to upload it to Instagram, which was so stupid. But now with the Facebook tools, it just works.
Yeah, no, with Buffer, it just works. You schedule them up and they just post automatically. So and you can post on like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I think that's it.
Yeah, so that's part of my author plan, business plan. I've got to figure out is how to do more of that, because I work a 50-hour, 60-hour week work week. So like I come home, I'm exhausted. Everybody's usually on their phones during their breaks and lunch and morning and things like that. And I don't have time to do it then. So I've got to learn to schedule it and get those things taken care of. And that's something that I think this will help with.
I used to be very good about scheduling things to the wayside last year again, because that's just what happened. So I'm trying to get myself back in the game. It was very helpful because I don't want to be doing marketing every single day. I just don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. That's not how I want to spend my time. I want to give it X amount of hours a week and have it all set up, and then I can set it and forget it.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
if I get alerts on my phone, then I can respond to people and then go on with it, you know?
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I really need big chunks of writing time. And so if I'm having to spend an hour a day on marketing or an hour and a half or whatever, then I either am really in the groove with writing and I don't want to stop to do the marketing, or the marketing takes more time, or like it seems like it interferes. But if I plan to do just, batch a bunch of stuff at a time, then I can just sort of block off a space on my calendar and it doesn't feel as, like there's this much. So
I'm very sorry that our connection is cruddy, but it's, I live in West Virginia and it's 12 or 13 degrees outside.
Oh my God.
Oh no. Poor thing.
Yeah, I did not sign up for this. Oh.
Tamara, you can come swim in my pool. It's gonna be like 80 tomorrow.
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry. I was just like, come stay, honey. Just come have a vacation.
I'm like, I was thinking my 40s, but no, I'm good.
Teleport there as well. I want some heat.
It's so cold.
I'm sorry.
I've got a heater at my feet. It's only outside.
It's like coming back to West Virginia and having it to be like super cold, because I don't think it's been this cold in a few years.
Oh wow!
Like, yeah, so
Are they blaming you yet?
That was your warm welcome, Tamara.
Right?
Yeah, ice cold, but my body is like, oh, guess what? You are old. Feel these aches and pains that you didn't realize was there because it wasn't cold before.
Oh.
Yeah. It's all right.
Has your family blamed you that you brought the cold?
Yeah, they've made a couple jokes.
Yeah. The first year I moved to Nebraska, it was like the first time it had snowed so bad in like 14, 15 years. And they're like, your cold heart did it. It's all your fault.
Oh no.
I was like, wow, love you too.
One of my brothers was making fun of me because I was so like entranced by the snow, because I hadn't seen snow in like a decade. He's it's so pretty.
Oh.
Let's see. Aphrodite says that she devotes blocks of time to marketing, and that's it. I do not allow it to cross over into my other time slots, and that's how I stay sane.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
She also said we should have a pool party at Lisa's, and I feel that.
You're all welcome.
Let's go to Lisa's. All right. Oh, wow. We are getting closer to the top of the hour. Or rather, an hour of us streaming. We are at the top of the hour. Yeah, an hour of us starting. Again, sorry for the delay, everybody. Absolutely my fault. Oh, did we get the Craig Martell link out?
I don't know if I don't know if any of us were wrenches. Did you make somebody a wrench?
I'll just post it because
Okay.
Post it in the private chat so you can post it from there.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
perfect.
Because when I had YouTube up, it was running even worse. So
It's even his books that he writes with Michael Anderle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very
It's
cool.
literally it's literally all. It's not just his writing books or his books. Yeah, his Judge, Jury, and Executioner set's free.
Oh wow.
Link to that because I only linked to his series.
Yeah, his End Days series. Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
So we should pick one of these for next month.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be a good idea.
Oh, that's a great idea because they're all free.
You can buy them now.
I'm going to download all of them. All right. So let's give our last thoughts and then say our goodbyes so these wonderful people can go and enjoy their days or nights, depending on where you are.
Perfect.
Amber,
all right. Start with me and go around. All right. I am Amber Crafts. I write paranormal romance. Book 2 of the Gods of Karina series, Unknown Family, will be out February 9th. I did take the day off work, so there will be a launch party. I've just got to get, if you'd like to be on there with me, let me know. Because that's what I'm going to work on this weekend, is getting people with me. I am the host of the Afterthought podcast. We have a new episode every second Saturday of every month. So make sure you go. It's on my YouTube, and then all the Audible version links are down below in the descriptions.
I'm sorry, when's your release date?
February 9th.
Okay, February 9th.
Awesome.
Yep. I didn't know it until after I planned it, but my favorite author, Christine Fien, has a book coming out February 9th. So, like, I'm feeling like super special. I did not even need to do that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yep.
We've totally done this conversation before. Would you guys do it again?
Yeah, there was lots of squeals with my mom going, "Oh my god, I didn't plan it. How did this happen?" Yeah, so there's that. And then in case everyone wasn't on Wednesday's stream, Sunday and next Wednesday, which is the 2 days we have left before the live launch, I'm going to do a little race test for everybody that's on the stream on Sunday and Wednesday, and those 2 people that win will get a free book or ebook of their choice. So
nice. That's great.
Yep.
Oh, it's my turn, right?
Yep.
I so have it all together. Yeah, I'm great today. So I'm Alina. I write mystery, sci-fi and fantasy, and contemporary romance. And I will have books out this year, probably. I spent January at least writing more than I wrote in the last 4 months before it. But I keep randomly starting new projects for weird reasons. Like the K-drama I was watching had an awful ending, so now I'm writing an isekai. Whatever. It's fun. It starts with someone falling out of the sky, which is always a good place to start. So I'll probably have a lot of books out this year because they're written, and I should probably release them at some point.
That seems like a good plan.
It's an excellent plan.
I'll just take the next installment of Angel Flight.
No, I've not finished that.
One series I am
I'm still halfway through it, and I swear to God, every month there's reader group where people once a month someone asks for sci-fi LGBT sci-fi books, and there's this one person who really loves my book, and every time she recommends it, and people buy the first book and some buy the second book, and then everyone talks about how when I promised to release book 3 eventually, and I said I'm working on it for the past year.
I love you. That's like my favorite series, and it's yet to get the next one out. I'm like,
you'll get there.
I'm awful. Like,
He's working on it.
Like, seriously, if you want to know what not to do as an author, just check me out. It's fine.
That's not true.
I feel like you're definitely being too hard on yourself.
2020 doesn't count, okay? So just reset and redo.
My darling, this was supposed to be a 2018 or 2019 release.
Oh, trust me, I know. I was trying to.
Also, let's not talk about Warriors of Viz, which was somehow a book I thought would not sell 1 copy. It's still my best-selling book ever, and I still haven't released book 2. It's been written for over a year.
You should get on that.
Let's just say at least I better be glad I don't live near her, or I'd be coming over every day and be like, do you need me to help you do anything? I will make the cover. I will call people. I will.
I have the cover made for the third Angels flyer book. It's fine. I've had it made for like 2 years.
you, Alina.
The writer in me understands all this. The reader in me is like, I'm gonna hurt her.
No. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Burning.
You're killing me.
I love you, Alina.
So yeah, check me out on YouTube. I might post a video this month. I mean tomorrow, on my goals for the year. Because
Hey.
it's totally normal to post that at the end of January.
That's good. It's okay.
I don't know.
You gotta get back in the habit of posting. We expect it to be a
Yeah.
little out of sync.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll get there. So,
I appreciate the understanding.
Lisa?
I'll go. Okay, thank you. So hi, I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published author of contemporary romance and nonfiction. And over on my channel, we talk about how to get a book published and you're super proud of. And so that's always kind of a fun thing. Tonight, we are doing the Boozy Plannerama. I'm very excited to break out my exciting planner just for publishing. I know, right? And on Wednesdays we do writing sprints live streams. I can't talk today. Doesn't bode well. So thank you for having me on. I love this book. I definitely would recommend it.
My channel where I talk about books and writing. I write cozy mysteries. I have been working on years. It will get out sometime in the first quarter of this year. So then the first quarter of this year, you will see that book. And I have so many covers that don't have books attached to them yet. So that's pretty much my goal for this year. I want to make some money back for all of these covers that I've paid for. Like, this is ridiculous. I just got
I'm the opposite.
Oh my gosh, I just got another cover. Which I hadn't even remembered that I had set up for my cover designer to make a cover for this story that's halfway done. A lot of things are halfway done here. It's very half-assed. And it was supposed to be for Valentine's Day. Oh.
You still have 2 weeks. You still have 2 weeks to wear it. It's fine.
That's right. You can make it. You can totally make it. Yeah, no problem. Or 2022, whatever, whatevs.
I was just like, did you really do this? And the cover's super cute. So I was like, well, I guess we're going to get this too.
That's good.
It is good.
Could it be a short? Maybe it could be a short.
It's going to be a novella because it's like a in-between book. In the series, I had to take down the first book because I need to re-edit that. There's a lot of stuff happening over here that's kind of help me do that. So I usually do live streams on Thursdays.
But
chaotic over in my world. So sometimes those happen and sometimes those don't.
Perfectly understandable.
2 p.m. Eastern. And these happen. These are set in stone, or at least I try to make them. Let's see, what else do we have? I do #write stuff on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Twitter, where we talk about, writing stuff. Carol Brown and I have AuthorTube News. But I moved, and now she's in the process of moving and getting things together there. So we have put that on a bit of another hiatus. We will be back with that because that is both of our passion projects. It's so good. I love doing it. I have a Patreon. So if you'd like to help support me in all these endeavors, please check out the link in the description. Also, there should be links for these lovely ladies' YouTube channel as well. If not, I'm going to fix it. And so with that all being said, there are good past me. You did it. Thank you so much for being here, ladies. Thank you to everyone who's watching this, whether you're watching now or you're watching later. And we'll see you in the next one.
Definitely.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.